Hello and welcome, everyone. Hi, good. Hello, good. There's an audience. It's interactive. Good. That's a good sign. So, for those of you who've been here before, welcome back. For those of you who are new here, certainly the Cohort 2 are here to see what it's all about, which is great to have you here. I'd like to say welcome to all of the mentors, both the industry mentors and the Deutsche Bank mentors who've been part of the program for the first half a year, first 6 months of this year. And to everyone else in Deutsche Bank who has come down to just see what it's all about. And hopefully you can enjoy the session, but also learn a little bit more about the fantastic organizations that are represented here in the different entrepreneurial groups that are here. So one of the things that I just wanted to touch upon is out of the sort of first cohort, we have 19 different female entrepreneurs representing companies, which is fantastic. And those 19 companies have been mentored by Deutsche Bank employees for 6 months. So I'd like to again say thank you to all the mentors, and hopefully those of you who have been through this process as mentees as well as mentors have really enjoyed the process and have got value out of it. I personally have had the pleasure of being a mentor to a company called Pocket Pals, and Danielle and Matt are the two founders, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about my own personal experience of doing it. So when I actually volunteered to be part of the process, I thought, hopefully I can give a little bit of good advice. Maybe there's some benefit. But the real surprise to me was actually, as a mentor on the program, I couldn't believe actually how much I personally got out of being mentors. And you probably don't know this, both of you, but I have so enjoyed doing it. And I want to thank you both for being fantastic mentees. But every time I came back after meeting you, and I know Gabby as well shared a very similar sort of remark to me, the amount of energy I actually get from meeting you and quite frankly wishing that I was a young 20-year-old entrepreneur not working at a bank was amazing. So thank you very much for that. I think, from a Deutsche Bank perspective, we have a number of initiatives, and particularly the one that we drive from our corporate social responsibility here group is made for good. And made for good is one of our primary sort of drivers in the CRS program. I'm actually on the council in the UK for Deutsche Bank's CSR council, so I get to see a lot of I get to be sort of involved and get to see a lot of the things that we're doing in Deutsche Bank, and it absolutely amazes me, and it makes me very proud to be part of Deutsche Bank, to see actually how strong the CSR community is at Deutsche Bank. And the way in which we do that is in partnerships with other organizations. So in particular, this is a great example of that type of partnership with the We in Social Tech as our partners here, and we have other partners in other areas. It's hard being an entrepreneur. A lot of organizations support entrepreneurs for good reasons. That if you start a company, it's a very hard thing to do, and unfortunately, many companies aren't successful as they go through. But those that are often are successful because not only of the fantastic talent of the entrepreneurs who start it, but actually because of the support those entrepreneurs get, and having that support provided by in industry and by companies like We in Social Tech is a really important aspect. And one of the things that I would say to all of you in the room, you can help these entrepreneurs in their journey. So if they're after we've gone through the demonstrations and the talks, there'll be plenty of opportunity for more socializing outside after the event. And what I would say to you is, if spend some time, stick around, talk to the entrepreneurs, and think about how you might be able to help them, because any help could actually change the course of their future organization, their future company, and it's really important that for me, that's where most of the pleasure, the value of being working for Deutsche Bank and being able to help the entrepreneurs. So please do stick around. Please do see what you can do to help. As I said, we have the second cohort in the room as well, or most of them hopefully. So hopefully you'll enjoy. You'll get to see what it's all about, and you'll get to watch the first cohort sweating at the front of the screen, worrying about their presentations. Surely not. Everyone's prepared well, I hope. And the last thing I just wanted to say is, from Deutsche Bank's perspective, this is a incredibly important initiative for us. So we, as I said, we do a lot of CRS initiatives, but linking this up for Made for Good, for us actually being an organization that's actually helping innovative entrepreneurs in the sort of the wider marketplace, not just in the industry that we're in, but in any industry, is incredibly important to us. And hopefully all of those people who've been involved in this first cohort, and those of you who'll be involved in the second cohort, hopefully you have got genuine value from being in this process. And I really wish all of you luck today. And even more luck in your future entrepreneurial endeavors. So congratulations, well done for making it this far, and I really look forward to seeing the rest of the day. With that, I'd like to hand over to Ghislaine, please, and hand over to the person who really knows what's going on today. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you very much, Jeremy. So I'm going to try and put the slide forward one. Let's see. Yep, good. So I'm Gillian Boddington, and I'm very happy to be here in this space, actually for the second time. We did the launch here in November. I'm a spokesperson for We in Social Tech. It's been a wonderful, wonderful role to have, actually. So, and tonight I'm going to try and get us dynamically through the next hour of inputs from this wonderful cohort one. We launched here in November, and we discussed the blend of values and value that actually in business is founded today for social impact, yeah. And actually that is what the cohort one have been working with throughout this period. Here they come together today to share with us what they've got up to in the last 6 short month period, yeah, 6 months they've had. And the final outputs from the We in Social Tech programme for cohort one. And these are creations of valuable yet meaningful businesses. It takes passion and commitment, as Jeremy said, actually, to create a business and to create a social business even more so, which aims to make changes in the world today, to push forward strong beliefs that I know many of you have had to start these ideas, to actually really take on tackling some of the social issues and some of the needs that you've seen, that you've found in the niches around you, and to try to enable change in a world that we know faces rising challenges of many types. So this programme is dealing with that, but it also additionally has been facing the challenges that women have in the tech sector. And we know, I'm not going to go into lots of figures now, but we know that this is still problematic. And actually, we are aiming here to ensure that these brilliant women have gained the confidence and skills needed to advance and achieve equality with their male peers for their ideas, for their excellence, and for their entrepreneurship. And I think that will be definitely shown tonight by what we've seen throughout the last 6 months. So today we gather together, and as Jeremy pointed out, we've got cohort one here, we've got cohort two members here. Actually, can cohort two all wave your arms at us? Yes, great, good. There's one over here and everyone, great. Welcome, welcome. We've got mentors. Who are the mentors here in the room? Fantastic, absolutely great, yeah. From both the industry mentors who have been on the website and sharing their skills, and each cohort members picked one, and the Deutsche Bank mentors, which also, we had a big event here where everyone chose each other and networked around. Wonderful trainers, which I think some of them are in the room, who have actually given sessions on Wednesdays, been around all the time, and guests and friends and supporting colleagues. So thank you for joining us today, alongside all of the teams that are here as well. So let's go, let's get going. And we're going to start, and I'll push this button first, and welcome up Claudine from Career Ear. So Claudine. Now, just before Claudine starts, I'm going to tell you, they've got 2 minutes each. So this is a really tough output thing. So we're going to go. Thank you, Claudine.
No worries. Hi, as you know, I'm Claudine. I'm the founder of Career Ear. Our vision is for young people globally to achieve their potential regardless of their background. And we do this by enabling employers to engage and employ young, quality, diverse talent. So corporates, as many of you in the audience will know, really struggle to recruit young people from underrepresented backgrounds. And what we're doing is making sure that we fill that gap for them. And meanwhile, we know that students from state schools are not being supported with the career support they need because no state school is compliant with the 8 benchmarks for good careers guidance, and disadvantaged students suffer the most. So what we have is 2 problems. So employers struggling to access underrepresented talent from for young people, and then young people from those backgrounds struggling to get the support that they need. So at Career, we combine AI and a community of professionals to solve these challenges. We enable young people to explore their different options and skills through the platform in a gamified way, ask professionals questions, so professionals just like yourselves, and then access exciting career opportunities. During the program, I came to the program with a fantastic co-founder, £30,000 of revenue and over 1,000 users. And during the program, we have started building the new version of our platform, was recognized in the top 10 of the Social Entrepreneur Index, and also started fundraising. So we've got 100K committed. So any angels that don't want to miss out on that, come and find us. But today, also after kind of advisors. So if you know a C-suite executive or an exited tech entrepreneur, please let me know. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, I think Claudine has set the theme here because she actually finished 5 seconds under 2 minutes. So thank you, Claudine. So here we are, Jane from Loopster. Great.
Hi, I'm Jane Farner from Loopster. Oh,
Big green button, yeah?
yeah. And we're a platform that makes it easy for parents to buy and sell quality second-hand kids' clothes. Did you know that in Britain, we buy more clothes than any other people in Europe? And a quarter of it will end up in landfill. But if you're a parent, you're too time pushed to list your clothes on eBay or go through charity shop racks. And I discovered this when I became a parent and I was still working as an investigative producer. And I was passionate about fashion sustainability, having gone undercover in Bangladesh to make a film for Channel 4 to expose child labour making clothes for a major retailer that I won't mention. Loopster is the solution. We offer parents quality brands at a quarter of high street prices. And for sellers, we pay them for every item. They just fill a loopy clear out bag and we do the rest. And we've been getting great traction. Since March, we've been selling half our inventory on the site every single month. And we've had orders for over 1,300 loopy clear out bags. We've never marketed them. And our revenue since the Family and Friends round last September has been going up by 15% month on month. And we've had loads of great media coverage, like the Radio 4 and The Guardian. And our traffic has grown by 350%. We're looking for 500,000. We've had 250,000 committed since we've been on the We in Social Tech program. So please do talk to me if you might be interested. And this will be to develop the back end and reduce the processing time of clothes, optimize the front end, and scale up and go into women's wear. And I'd really like to thank We in Social Tech. It's been like putting me on an MBA doing this. They've done a brilliant job, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you very much. So next up is the Communality, and Samia, welcome to the stage. Yeah, here we are. There we are. Green button.
Hi, everyone. My name is Samia, founder of the Communality,
Samia, I'm going to put you in front
Sure.
of the mics. Yeah.
a platform that improves lives through better gut health. 70% of our immunity lies in our gut. We have over 40 trillion bacterial cells in our body, the majority of which lies in our gut and is linked to every single function in the human body, not just digestion. I started learning about gut health about 2 years ago when I was diagnosed with a condition called histamine intolerance. It's a condition that impacts 75 million people, and it's one of the many, many conditions that are related to the gut. Many of these conditions are newer diseases. So, for example, food allergies really only started in the 1990s, and now we're at a situation where it's so bad that it's normal for a child to get anaphylaxis just from touching a peanut. The symptoms can range from year-round hay fever all the way to more debilitating issues, and management involves taking daily antihistamines and sticking to a low histamine diet. But the problem is when you stop taking the antihistamines, the symptoms can come back and they're much more severe. And so for that reason, people don't want to rely on daily prescription meds. And everyone's diet is unique because our gut microbiome is unique, like a fingerprint. At the Communality, we've built an ecosystem around this problem. We offer people the ability to connect with others who have the same condition, ask for advice from nutritionists, and buy products to naturally improve gut health. We would like to connect with researchers in gut health, as well as other people who have histamine intolerance, so that we can build the community and eventually donate the data to research. And finally, I just want to say thank you to this program and Deutsche Bank, because I started 6 months ago with an idea and I went all the way through to user research, setting up my MVP, and now building the community. So thank you, and please stay in touch if you have an interest in gut health. Thanks.
Excellent. That's something we all need to look at much more clearly. So here we are next. Oh, I've gone too far. Oh no, one back. How do I go back?
Just leave it.
Fine, good, great. Room for tea, Milena.
Hi everyone, good evening. I'm Milena and I'm thrilled to tell you a bit more about RoomForty. Like many entrepreneurs, my business started from a problem that I saw that needed solving. After university, I started a 3-month unpaid internship and I struggled to find a room for such a short period. So you got me concentrated. So what was I saying? But this is so I didn't want to sign a 12-month lease, and I also couldn't afford a hotel or B&B. And this is a generation-wide problem. Millennials and Gen Z make up 60% of the global workforce, but can't get on the property ladder. And even in London, there is no flexibility in housing. Meanwhile, over 50% of London households have at least one spare bedroom, but many don't feel safe renting it to a spare room. And this is where RoomForty can help. We are a peer-to-peer housing platform, and we're about flexibility, safety, and value for money. Accommodation in RoomForty is flexible and secure. We verify all our listings, and rent is on a pay-as-you-go basis with all bills included. So this is a fraction of our hosts, and thanks to them, in less than 2 years, we have helped over 500 young people find a spare room. Over 70% of our community is female, and 50% of our hosts are single. So during We in Social Tech, we have made some great strides. We doubled our user registrations. Over 6,000 nights were booked, and sales have tripled since December. But the biggest challenge we face now is how do we meet increasing demand without losing a community-first approach? This is how we need your help. We're just a small team, and we need to add another person on our team to meet this increasing demand. So today, we are launching a GoFundMe campaign. Use this as a way to expand and get other people involved. And what we're doing is we're doing a pre-sale on room bookings. So think of it as a way to get a room in advance or buy a gift card for a person you like. So please sponsor our campaign and share it on social media and tell all your friends about it.
Great. Thank you, Milena. And I'm sure, as you all know, this is actually quite an incredible project. How, you know, for issues around housing and looking at, and people, young people finding affordable rent in London and other places is huge. So it's a great one. So SupplyChain, Isha and Beth, welcome up. Yeah, here we are.
Hi, I'm Beth and this is Isha, and we are co-founders of SupplyChain. Every year, over 280 billion is spent by the public sector on essential goods and services. Public sector organisations exist to help communities thrive, but this spending doesn't always help achieve that. Too often, work is awarded to large private businesses that don't always focus on having a positive impact in the communities they are serving. So what if more services like this could be delivered by social enterprises instead, who could not only deliver a high quality of work, but also have a positive impact to the people and communities that need it most? Take, for example, Recycling Lives. They are a waste management social enterprise. And in the last couple of years, they have delivered millions of pounds of social value in savings to society through rehabilitating and employing ex-offenders.
So this is where SupplyChain comes in. We have created the UK's first digital marketplace that specialises in making the process of procuring social enterprises easier, safer and quicker. We know we can replicate the successes of Recycling Lives. SupplyChain is the place to do this. As we build our marketplace, we can impact the whole social enterprise sector across the UK and have various social outcomes. The last 6 months have been really pivotal for us. We launched our product, which was the first of its kind in Europe. We were invited to Downing Street as part of London Tech Week. Our work was featured in the Times and the Future Procurement Report, and we're also listed as the top 100 social enterprise in the UK.
So at SupplyChain, we believe that every pound of public money spent is a vote cast for the sort of society that we want to live in. Tonight, we're looking for raising further investments. If you're interested, come and speak to us, and partnerships in both the private and public sector in order to help us achieve our goal. Thank you for listening, and a huge thanks to the Women in Social Tech Accelerator for supporting us. We've learned a lot.
Wonderful. Thank you. So, Katya. So let's just get this in the right place for you. Sitspot. And I'm going to get everybody to stand behind the mics, yeah? Because otherwise we won't be recording you, yeah? So, great.
Hello, I'm Katya, and I'm building Sitspot, the TripAdvisor of responsible travel. I've been a bit of a green guru for about 10 years now at Discovery, where I set up the Sustainability Committee, and at home. And I felt particularly smug that most of my spends were on non-materialistic good, and especially travel, until I realized that we've all been a little bit in denial of how our travel habits were contributing to the climate crisis. So left unchecked, this is what holidays are going to look like for us and our children. So in the last year, I've done in-depth research, and I am relieved to report that staying at home is not the solution. Sustainable tourism is really finally taking off, and 87% of travelers want their holidays to be sustainable. But for those proactively looking, the process is too long, complex, overwhelming. My green friend Laura is currently touring South Asia, and she spends hours reading through irrelevant reviews from clients who complain that they didn't get their little plastic toiletries, and that drives her nuts. So introducing Sitspot. It's a platform that connects conscious travel seekers, providers, and storytellers. It's collaborative, non-judgmental, and feel-good, with 3 features. Innovative reviews, where users recommend places they loved for their sustainability efforts, and also for this special vibe that help them connect with themselves, nature, or local communities. Tools to help them track, lower, and offset their impact, and a content section with interviews with experts and compelling stories. 6 months ago, all I had was the idea to give travelers some tools and a voice to lead a critically needed transition. The WIN Social Tech program has been my Sherpa through those first bases, and I have a tested business proposition, a website about to launch, and 50 journalists, experts, and travelers lined up to contribute. So what I'm asking you is whether you could connect me with a UX genius who will be excited to make Sitspot the best travel tech for good business. Thank you so much.
Very well done. Great. So, one question. The main lights went on. Is there any way to get those off again? Was that through the tech box or? just nicer for us all, I think. So I'm going to call up Market Without Borders, Max. Great. Go for it.
Thank you. Hi, my name's Max Ganane. I'm the founder of Market Without Borders. So Market Without Borders started when I met a group of people on Facebook who were LGBT refugees in Kenya. They were making bags to make a living, and I went, oh, I'll buy one of your bags. But however, to pay for it, I had to go into the Western Union office in the city. So I said, let me set you up an Etsy shop, which I tried to do, only to discover I couldn't because they didn't have bank accounts and couldn't access online payment services. So I thought to myself, if I can solve this problem for these guys, maybe I can also help other people with the same problem. There are more than 2 billion people in the world without bank accounts. So we built payments tech that connects UK and US. Oh, I'll give you a picture. We built that connects UK and US payers to the mobile money accounts of recipients in Africa, starting in Kenya. So think of us like an Etsy for the unbanked. Not just a way for unbanked people to receive their payments, but also a place to sell their products direct to the international marketplace, completely via SMS. Emma is a typical seller. When I first met her, she was spending 5 days a week selling her jewellery in markets. When she sold to a US reseller, she was getting 12p on the dollar they went on to sell it for. Now she sells direct to her end customers. She works full-time on her design and she gets 55p in the dollar. Artisans are the second biggest industry in Africa. Most don't have bank accounts, but they do have mobile phones. With the help of Women in Social Tech, we've come to market at a time when there's a huge demand for ethical fashion. We've been selected for FCA's Innovation Lab, and we've just formed a marketing collaboration with the London College of Fashion. This is our website. We plan to expand our marketplace to other sectors and apply our payments tech to other industries. So we're raising our first round now, and I'm looking for angel investors. So please come and talk to me if this might be you or anyone you know. I'm also on the lookout for a co-founder. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Max. Wonderful. Great. Good. Thanks very much. Now, I believe we've got a video to play now. Has anybody solved the light problem for the main room? So actually, we'll go ahead then. It's a pity with the video. It would be very nice to have the main lights out. Can you hear me in the tech box? Yeah. Great. Thank you. Great. Right. So I know now we've got a video from Rhys IQ, Lena and Cassandra we will see talking in this video. Thank you.
We are Rhys IQ. Today we wanted to take some time to share with you some of the insights we gained from being a part of We in Social Tech. So first off, we got paired with 2 amazing mentors. Sometimes you get mentors who give you pie-in-the-sky questions, but our mentors weren't afraid to roll up their sleeves and dig into the nitty-gritty details with us. They also shared with us stories and insights from startups that they've worked with in the same industry, so that gave us insight into what was going to happen down the road. We had an incredible cohort which provided us with weekly accountability and really helped with both wins and challenges. We had some extremely valuable conversations which led us to question whether people would actually use our product, like our product, and who would even pay for it. This led us to have in-depth discussions regarding our value proposition, and in fact, due to We in Social Tech, we were actually able to avoid building the wrong product. At one point, we were even considering spending up to £15,000 working with an external provider to develop this amazing minimum viable product. But after speaking with an expert that we were put in touch with through We in Social Tech, we realized just how much we could do ourselves, and the expert explained to us, what to look for, the questions to ask, and we were able to avoid spending all this money and building a minimum viable product when really we could do it ourselves. We would like to thank We in Social Tech. This program has been incredible for us. It's really guided us along the right path. We've avoided so many pitfalls and avoided spending money we did not need to spend. I particularly would like to continue to help any other cohort. I couldn't believe that this is actually the first cohort.
So thank you there to Lena and Cassandra. And I think it's always very, very helpful to get this kind of feedback too, because we know, as Jeremy said, many businesses fail completely, but this was one where they've actually caught themselves en route thanks to the cohort and to the We in Social Tech environment. So great. So here's the next one, and we're going to invite up Hannah to speak about VR Calm. Here we are. Here's Hannah. Great.
Thank you. Yeah, okay, great. Hello everyone, I'm Hannah. So I'd like to tell you a story. My great-grandmother had dementia, and when we went out to visit her, we would log into the park. She would enjoy the nature around her, smelling the flowers and exploring around. And then we went back to her care home, and I could tell the ambience changed, and she was lonely and sad in there. And I wanted to do something that could help solve this problem and help my great-grandmother and also other people just like her. And I did some more research into the problem, and I found out that dementia is a real issue in our society right now. Every single one of you is sitting next to somebody who has a close friend or family member with dementia. And every single one of you is also sitting next to somebody who will be diagnosed with dementia at some point in their life. Another thing as well is that there's nearly 1 million people in the UK with dementia, and this is set to double by 2050. So I really wanted to build something that could help my great-grandmother and other people. So I built a social, uplifting virtual reality experience where seniors can engage and explore in a natural environment, because nature is scientifically proven to help with mental well-being. Now, why VR? VR is now becoming a much more accessible technology, it's safe and low risk, and the interactivity could really help with their mental stimulation. Now, we have a great team. I'm a software developer developing the project, and my co-founder is a medical student at St George's University London. So what better team to help drive this product forward? We've also had a lot of success in the past 6 months, mostly thanks to We in Social Tech. We've been featured on Sky News, we've received support from the Royal Society of Medicine, and we're soon to start testing with the St George's University support group. So we would like funding to help with content creation, product development. We'd like to reach out to more customers and more people willing to trial our product, especially people with dementia. And in the future, we'd like to expand our customer base, adopt our product into public healthcare, and also collate more data that could help us understand the condition in much more depth. Thank you very much for listening, and feel free to contact me if you have any questions.
Excellent. And very important again is what Hannah's pointed out then about the knowledge about how many people around us and within us. So the dementia issue we know is a problem, a gaining problem. So here we go. So I'm now going to invite up Chloe from Studio Manech. There, sorry, I've got the first stats. Big green button.
Hi, I'm Chloe Mynek. I'm director of Studio Mynek. We're a high-impact design studio, and we create life-changing mental health and well-being products. We make physical and digital products, so connected products. Our first product we are bringing into the marketplace is called Music Memory Box. Like Hannah, it's for people living with dementia and their family and carers. It's a transformative music product. And I'll just explain it to you. So it's a physical box. You fill it with objects, and by putting a little sticker on that object, you can make it become musical. So music has an amazing effect with people living with dementia. It really can transform people's lives, and we've made music accessible to people living with dementia, so they can use it on their own. They don't need help. They can use it independently. So this is John in our care home pilot. And his dad was a conductor, so every time he hears a specific piece of music, he starts conducting. So in our pilot, we evaluated Music Memory Box with 3 care home groups, and we found it reduced anxiety and confusion for people living with dementia. It created a really healthy bond between family members. They learnt more about their family, and also it increased independence and overall quality of life. So in March this year, we launched a Kickstarter, and that was successful. And we're currently finalists in the BT's National Tech for Good Awards. So today we are pitching for £150,000, and that's to scale up our production to the US. So we've got some distributors interested, but we need money to scale up. So if you're interested, come and chat to me afterwards. I've got a music memory box out in the foyer. I'd love to show you. And let's transform mental health and well-being globally now, today.
Very nice, thank you. And transforming it through these creative means, using the creativity that's coming through these projects, for me seems to be a really positive way forward. So now we're halfway through the outputs from the group, and actually it's a little halfway point. We're very, very pleased to have with us Joanna Clark, who is the CEO of Nwes. The Nwes has been the entrepreneur group that have been working right alongside Deutsche Bank on this whole project. And Joanna herself has worked on enterprise and economic development for over 30 years and has a huge belief in enhancing entrepreneurship through her work with Nwes in London, in East of England and in the East Midlands. So welcome, Joanna. I'll put you to the lectern. Thank you.
Well, good evening, or afternoon, everyone, and I'm delighted to be here speaking on behalf of Nwes today at what I think is really a landmark event, incredibly exciting. So I won't keep you from the next number of pitches because they're going to be far more interesting than I am. But if you weren't aware, I just thought I'd let you know what Nwes are about. We're a social enterprise ourselves, a small business helping other small businesses start and grow. And for many of us in the room who have run our own businesses, we'll be aware of how isolating running a business can be. So we consider ourselves to be a critical friend to new start and growing businesses. Our purposes are both economic and social. Firstly, enabling individuals to succeed in business and benefit their local economy and themselves, through wealth generation, and equally fulfilling a social purpose by supporting people to improve their entrepreneurial skills and in doing so take control of their career path and enhance their own feelings of self-worth and confidence, as Gillian was talking about earlier. So we think there is real synergy between Nwes ambitions and with the Women in Social Tech programme, which, like Nwes, is focused on creating wealth while addressing societal problems. And we've heard about so many fantastic businesses already tonight, and I know there are more to come. We're very proud to be delivering this programme, a really important accelerator pathway, I should say, in collaboration with Deutsche Bank through Deutsche's social enterprise programme Made for Good. After starting my career in the mental health care sector and following time working and living in Canada and Jamaica 30 years ago, I've since worked throughout the UK in economic development, and as Gillian said, I'm passionate about the opportunities all groups can access through the enterprise pathway, and in particular, I should say, for women. During my time as a single parent, I too ran my own business, working in the economic regeneration arena, and throughout all of these experiences, the continuing theme has been the vital importance of enterprise and entrepreneurial behaviours in the regeneration and sustainability of successful communities and economies. It's been fascinating to review the case studies from this first amazing cohort of women in social tech, all of which are offering incredibly innovative solutions to many of society's critical challenges. Several struck a particular chord, given my own background, and we've heard so eloquently about the mental and physical healthcare solutions that have been developed, career planning, talent management, and promoting diversity. Plus, I love holidays, so stop, I'll be hitting your website shortly. But each and every business on this programme is contributing a powerful business-based solution built around a call to action to increase the number of women in social tech. A genuine virtual circle. This is a genuine virtual circle in operation that we're witnessing here tonight, supported by everyone in this room, and with a huge local but national and international reach too. And wouldn't it be lovely, Jeremy, if we could get some more groups started across other parts of the UK? Maybe I'll be targeting you later. So, what have Nwes in partnership with Deutsche and many, many others achieved so far? Well, as we've heard, we launched in 1st of November 2018. 20 women have completed the programme so far. Over 1,200 hours of business support have been provided. 4 businesses have now started trading, with many others to follow and others that are now growing successfully. We've created new jobs in the marketplace. 86 mentoring sessions have provided 114 hours of direct one-to-one support. Now you know why I'm reading. And over £775,000 of investment has already been generated, and hopefully more to come, particularly after tonight's fantastic pictures. As we are all aware, the second cohort is also now starting as of today. So welcome and congratulations to be participating in this fantastic programme. And before I hand back to Ghislaine, how am I doing? Have you got the hook ready to pull me off? Yeah. I just wanted to thank each and every one of you who has contributed to developing the programme and making it such a thundering success. I'd like to once again thank Jeremy and the Deutsche Bank team, of course, and all of our fantastic mentors. I'd also like to mention Haringey Council, who've supported the programme. And without going all Gwyneth, I'd like to make a personal thank you from me to my Nwes team, in particular Lana Hersack. Quite right. Thank you. And I know that Lana has devoted a huge amount of personal as well as professional time to ensure that the project has been implemented successfully along with the rest of the Nwes team. So thank you, everyone. Most importantly, my heartfelt thanks, congratulations and admiration of the courage of all the participants in this first cohort. It's no small endeavour setting up your own business. I'm full of admiration for you. Well done. I very much look forward to continuing our partnerships with all of you in order to build a stronger female tech community where women can support each other to navigate the sector and become the most vital tech ambassadors and role models of tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you so much, Joanne, for joining us today. Because I know, well, number one, you're not in London, so you're here with us from Nottingham. Yes. And secondly, I know it's a very busy time for everybody at this point too. So we'll start again, and here we go, Generation Medics. So Hina, come and join us. Great.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Dr. Hina Rafiq, and I am the director and founder of Generation Medics. Generation Medics is a multi-award winning social enterprise that levels the playing field for state school pupils to explore, access, and succeed in medical and healthcare related careers. We do this because there are tens of thousands of unfilled vacancies within the NHS. The healthcare and life sciences sector contributes greatly to the GDP, and yet if you go into local schools, most people will struggle to name how many careers there are available within the NHS alone. So we have developed a program where we take relatable role models into schools, and we have after school clubs, we have holiday programs, we have a pop-up hospital where we get young people hands-on in careers that they might never have heard of before. We've leveraged technology to be able to increase our impact. So you can see here that last year we spent 13,000 hours impacting young people. But this year, in the last 6 months, I can say we've already doubled that number. And that's through the use of AI, through the use of the amazing support that's been given through this accelerator program. We're looking to scale, and if anyone else is out there and interested in helping to build the future pipeline of talent for the NHS, for the life sciences community, then please do get in touch. There is more that you will hear from us. Thank you. Generation Medics.
Great, excellent. Thank you, Hina. who's set the rate going and a dynamic for the second half tonight. So, and now I'm going to bring up Amy from Hebe. Yeah? Hebe, thank you.
Hello everyone. I'm Amy and I am the founder of Hebe, and I'm going to start this evening with a little audience participation to shake it up a bit. So how many of you in the past year, let's suggest, have been reading some of the horror stories about 1 in 4 children with self-harming, diagnosed with mental health, the cyberbullying, all of these horror stories? How many of you have said, well, hang on, I haven't even asked the question yet. I love it, you're already up there. Thank you so much for being so active. But how many of you have had conversations with your friends and family and said, thank God I am not growing up in this era? Yeah, now that I can see the hands popping up. Yeah, that's the question. Thank you so much. That's exactly it. That is a conversation I have regularly with my friends. And I am the fairy godmother to 5 of exactly these children who are growing up in these times. And I think it's about time that someone like myself takes responsibility for helping them, guide them, and give them the opportunity to make their own decisions in this space. So Hebe, at Hebe, we are on a mission. We're on a mission where we want to help kids be kids. We want to turn phones into talking devices. So I'm using voice technology, and let's face it, all it takes is a microphone, which is in everybody's pocket these days, to turn phones back into what Alexander Bell intended them for, a means to connect people through voice. We don't want them to be losing those skills, those communication skills that are going to help them in the future. And what we're doing is we are powering it and powering those connections through children's laughter. Oh, I'm already done. I haven't even shown the video. Oh no. Recently won an award. We're very excited about it. What I'm more excited about is showing you what our first prototype looks like and how the kids have got engaged with it. We've tested this with over 1,000 children, and this is a digital companion that won the award. Voice technology is extremely natural to them. They haven't learned the social norms of silence. Let's not allow that. Let's help them, as soon as they get phones in their pocket, keep talking. So the future looks great for us in terms of, I've got 2 fabulous games developers sitting over here, and they're part of the team tonight, so come and talk to them. Can I say one thing about the... We're looking for grant funding, but more importantly, I wanted to share with the fact that in January, when I joined this program, I was reeling from the fact that my tech co-founder had walked away from my business. I was dissolving the business I'd applied for. But through Leanne, I don't know where she is, Leanne's coaching support from Deutsche Bank, Lana's amazing coaching support, and this fabulous cohort, I now have a business I'm really proud of, and a team who are building amazing prototypes with me this summer. So thank you. And thank you for giving me extra time.
And again, thank you, Amy, for sharing that issue that happens for a lot of people, that a co-founder disappears or goes off on you. You can still do it. Yeah, that's great. So can I bring Joanna up, please, for Open Online Theatre? Joanna, to the mics. Here, please, Joanna. Oh, right.
Hi, everybody.
Going? Right, here we are, and here's your slide. Yeah, there we are.
Hi, everybody, and thank you for being here. I'm Joanna Morad, the artistic director of Ijet Dance Company.
Press the green button, please.
Oh!
Big green button. Great, thank you. Yeah, great. Go.
Open Online Theatre. Open Online Theatre is future-focused, and we sit in the intersection of science, technology, and arts. Open Online Theatre is one of the products that have been supported by we in social tech. And we received a lot of support from all our mentors and all the courses we've done. And what we've done there is developed it to be much more structured and much more scalable. So now we have a format that is very clear. Why Open Online Theatre? Like most of art graduates, I wanted to become a full-time person working for big companies. Suddenly, I realized that it's impossible because there are only 2% of all the arts graduates that end up being in full-time business or jobs. 5% might have a job here and there, but they are self-employed.
they cannot develop their excellency. They can't develop and become better. So that did hurt. So I decided that I wanted to create something for them. I created Open Online Theatre, which is a vehicle that helps artists through different formats to connect with their audiences. So you have to think it's like Facebook connected with social medias. So we designed it with an objective of using a multitude of cameras to connect audiences, artists to audiences, to make the audiences feel that they're at the front seat of Sadler's Wells or the globe. They are a part of the culture. So in one way, we're helping artists to develop and scale up, and we're helping audiences to be connected with arts. We have reached 2,000 audiences in 23 countries. And this is what some of the users have mentioned about Open Online Theatre. I'm wrong, this is the one. And I'm here to ask for a small support for for Open Online Theatre, as well as a structural business person who can help us scale Open Online Theatre. Or if you have a small space in your office that you want to keep a pet in, we'll be your pet. We will develop Open Online Theatre while supporting your colleagues to develop their health and well-being. Please come and talk to me. I'm here. I'm talkable. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Joanna. Great. So, next one. Who's up next in chorus? Rosie, come and join us, please. Yeah. There we are. In front of the mics. There's the big green.
Great. Awesome. Hi, so my name's Rosie and I'm one of the co-founders of Inchorus, and we're on a mission to make workplaces more inclusive by tackling bias and harassment within workplaces today. So, diversity and inclusion is top of a lot of agendas right now, and quite rightly so. It's not just the right thing to do from a moral perspective, it's also great business. And thirdly, the inverse, harassment, is hugely damaging to both individuals and companies, and we've seen that more and more today. But many companies are still struggling to tackle problem behaviours. And with this in mind, we found that the key to increasing inclusion and preventing harassment is actually to look at everyday interactions. It's those instances of who's interrupted in a meeting, whose ideas weren't picked up on, or who was just made to feel like they don't belong. But the problem with these kinds of day-to-day instances of bias and harassment is that they often fall through the cracks with existing solutions, such as employee engagement tools and even whistleblowing solutions at the other end. But these day-to-day instances just often aren't picked up. But we're changing that within Chorus. And essentially, we are an app that provides employees with a mechanism to anonymously log everyday instances of bias and harassment, and then we aggregate that data into insight for companies to understand where a problem is emerging so that they can take preventative action sooner. Just to very quickly say a little bit about our journey today. With the support of Inchorus, with the support of this program, we have over the last 6 months shifted to taking our first clients live and becoming revenue generating, and formed numerous key partnerships within our target industries, specifically the music industry, as you can see there. Most notably, we partnered with the International Music Summit, where we won their Global Startup Challenge. And finally, that takes us to today. We are currently fundraising our pre-seed round, and in order to scale the business and our impact, and I would love to talk to anyone here today who would like to join us on that journey. Thank you very much.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you. Great. A very important area, and something which is highly topical, and I think everybody in this room needs this app now, actually, for any businesses. So now we've got a video. And it's Walk with Path, and we're going to see Lisa talking.
Hello, I'm Lisa Pape and I'm the founder of Walk with Path. we have a mission to improve mobility and reduce the risk of falls. Falls are a massive global health challenge, representing both devastating consequences for the individuals and their families, as well as healthcare systems such as the NHS. In fact, in the UK, 6 people fall every single minute, and the direct costs to the NHS are close to £6 million every day. Our first solution is Pathfinder, a laser shoe for people with Parkinson's. It's validated to reduce a symptom called freezing of gait by about 50%. This symptom is a huge contributor to falls, and we're currently doing a healthcare economic study with St. George's to prove how we can save money for the NHS. Our second product that's in development is an insole that provides a vibrational feedback to improve balance. It also generates data about how people walk. This can be used specifically for patients with diabetes or elderly who are frail and have balance problems. And the data can be used to track people remotely, as well as for pharmaceutical companies to better understand certain diseases. We started in 2014, launched Pathfinder as a medical device in 2017. We're currently doing clinical trials with PathFeel, our insole, ahead of launch in 2022. I'm afraid and sorry I could not be there on this occasion. I'm currently in Madrid for a social impact competition. But please do get in touch on lise@walkwithpath.com. Thank you. Bye.
Great. And definitely, it's well worth looking at this website. It's really fascinating. I'm sure many of you also have issues. I do. I have a mum with Parkinson's. Falling is an issue. So it's very, very good to have a look at these products. It's excellent. So now, Sarah, can I invite you up? And here we have Inez.
Thank you.
Big green button.
That was rather uncomfortable, right? Imagine being so anxious that you cannot open your mouth to say hello. There are 700,000 people with autism in the UK, and social communication challenges are at the core of autism. I know that because my son is one of them. I also know that personalized training at a very young age is a must for them to learn social skills. We were lucky, we got some training, but it certainly wasn't enough. And I know that we are not alone. The majority of parents say that their autistic children can be supported better. But with 500 million deficit in the budget and much higher priority needs, mild cases of autism usually miss out. So, if you want to go private, help is very expensive and difficult to find. We want to meet this unmet need. Otsera uses evidence-based social skills training techniques in a VR game environment, and that can be personalized and puts an affordable price tag on it. Over the last 6 months with We in Social Tech, we defined our product, we wrote our business plan, we formed a core team and reached out to partners, and we made 2 grant applications. Our first application to the EU was granted a Seal of Excellence. Our second application to Innovate UK, we are delighted to say that we were granted and we will be funded by Innovate UK for the next 6 months. Thank you. Thank you so much. If you would like to help us, please connect us with game designers, VR developers, and anyone who would be interested in Otsera. You can find us at otsera.io. Thank you.
Excellent news about that grant, and with many others saying about different successes with press, grants, etc. So now let's move on to Fledgling and Ellie, please. No, I've got it wrong. Z's, I left you. I'm so sorry. First of all, we're with ZSleep, and we've got Anna. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Anna of ZSleep, and we make a sleep device. There it is up there. So sleep is a really big problem. How do you feel when you don't sleep? Probably irritable, depressed, anxious. It's a problem that affects about 50 people in this room right now. And we spend lots of money on it. As individuals and as employers. Every employer here is spending about £2,000 a year on every single employee because of productivity and time lost because of poor sleep. So what is there? So none of the I'm going to go back. So none of the stuff that we tend to spend our money on actually addresses the core problem of poor sleep, which is that our brain isn't slowing down enough to get us to relax, fall asleep, and stay asleep. What about new products? So the new products that are on the market now tend to be complex, aren't applicable for everybody, and are often uncomfortable. On the other hand, this is us. We're really simple. All you do is press a button, put us under the pillow, and sleep. And uniquely, we're addressing the real problem of sleep. That is to say, our too fast brains. So we do this by copying the electrical pulses that are emitted by the brain of a good sleeper, and then using those to prompt poor sleepers to sleep well. We get about 80% of chronic poor sleepers to sleep really well. We've got brilliant reviews. We're winning prizes. We've got some relationships with academic institutions. And B2C sales already. And what we want to ask from you is we want more B2B relationships. We'd like to be able to give talks, we'd like in-house trials, we'd like introductions to employers so that we can use our tech to transform sleep so that people's lives are no longer blighted by poor sleep. Thank you. Thank you to Nwes. It's been a brilliant 6 months.
Thank you, Anna. My guess is about half the people in this room would quite like one of these. It's very special, yes. So, in fact, Tade, who's the human clock tonight, just stopped the clock and started to take photos of that on screen. I'm like, get back to the clock. Right, good. Right, fledgling, sorry, Ellie, please come and join us, yeah.
Firstly, we're nearly there. So we're nearly there. So I just want to echo thanks to Deutsche Bank and We in Social Tech. Fraser and I have learnt so much over the last 6 months. I want to take you back. Oh, actually, I need to do that. I've only got one slide. Sorry, Ellie.
Yeah.
All right.
Big green button.
So I just want to take you back as to why we built Fledglink in the first place, and what we've achieved so far over the last 6 months. So last year, around 808,000 young people were considered NEET in this country, and that means not in education, employment, or training. And if you are from a socially disadvantaged background, you're twice as likely to become NEET. Yet, if a young person has 4 or more interactions with an employer, that could be a conversation, it could be you going into their school, a day's work experience, they're 86% less likely to become NEET. So it's a massive problem with such a simple solution. In building Fledglink, we wanted to help those from socially disadvantaged and minority backgrounds first and foremost. But actually over this year, in talking to young people, what we've realised is that there are a generation who are lost, confused, overwhelmed and ill-prepared for the world of work. And if you've got teenage kids, you'll probably recognise that yourselves. So our mission is to be the most helpful and supportive platform for young people at such a critical time in their journey as they journey through the last years of education and into work. And how we do that is deliver it through a free app that's accessible from the age of 13 and through our outreach work into schools, colleges and through our partnerships. So 6 months. So I put this slide up to represent, really sums up our success over the last 6 months. In April, we raised our second round of funding within 12 months of £500,000. So you will be pleased to know I'm not after money tonight. I've got at least 2 months off raising money. I was 3 weeks away from it all falling apart, and these girls helped me. We've gone from Fraser and myself to a team of 7, 300 people in our ecosystem to 3,000 in the last 6 months, 50 companies on our app posting opportunities, and our brand is registered in the UK and across 28 other European countries. Thank God I did that before Brexit. So I just want to thank you all so much, and especially for Lana. Apologies that I wasn't always responsive. Hopefully you can see why.
Thank you. Wonderful success there too. So we've got 2 more actually 1 more live and 1 who isn't here, but I will give a little explanation. So actually welcome up Pocket Pals Danny. Pocket Pals. Here we are.
The National Trust states that less than 1 in 10 children are engaged. Let me start again. Less than 1 in 10 children regularly play outdoors. And the truth is, kids want to play outside. But the outside world and parental fears. I'm sorry. Let me start again. And the truth is, kids want to play outside. But parental fears of the outside world and the lack of accessible green spaces means that it's far easier to give your child an iPad than drop them off at a local woodland. Children are disconnected with the natural world and are increasingly engaged with technology. I want to see less of this and more of this. Okay, maybe not children licking frogs, but children actively engaged with the natural world. Children and adults have an average attention span of 8 seconds, which means engaging children outside is incredibly difficult. But what if you can combine the real world and the digital world to engage children with nature? And so I am pleased to introduce Pocket Pals. We transform how children experience the natural world. Our augmented reality trails are a brand new digital activity that leads children on a journey in search for animated animals. The trail uses physical multiple signs. You scan the sign with a mobile app, and this reveals animated animals. Through this experience, I started off on the edge of giving this up and starting a full-time job. But over the 6 months, my wonderful mentors have took us on a journey, and we've just confirmed our first pilot with the London Wildlife Trust. We're doing this because we want to engage children with the natural world. I'm a nature whiz kid. My co-founder is an animation nerd, and we want to bring kids closer to the natural world through digital solutions. And over the next 6 months, we're really keen to get new mentors to really help our business journey. Thank you.
Wonderful. So just to say, the last one, Baobab Circle, actually Precious can't be with us tonight, but you can definitely look on the site and see about this work, which is actually tackling Africa's next health crisis. So it's a very interesting project. Precious can't be with us actually because she's, I believe, been in Africa, but she has malaria, so she can't be with us tonight. So she's dealing with the stuff she's dealing with. So yeah, very good actually. So I'm just going to see what comes up next on the site. Great. So we have reached the end of the outputs from the cohort 1. I would just like to say, I'm sure for all of us here, it's incredibly heartening, and I can feel it here inside me, hearing one after another projects which for once are really genuinely about needs and social problems that actually we are all so aware of being approached in this way with solutions and with businesses to approach them. So it's a very different feel, isn't it, to hear all these projects together in this way. So what an amazing evening. And I think there is a saying that is often used actually in relationship to gender equality issues, which says, if you can't see it, you can't be it. And actually this evening we've seen it. The women creating businesses which are helping to solve topical and imperative social needs and issues. So respect to you all, I think from all of us in this room, for all of the work that's been happening. So I'd like to say respect and thank you for all your inputs here. Thank you and good luck onwards to Cohort 1. Stay in touch with us and actually with each other, because we do know that these networks are so valuable, and not just now, but onwards for years ahead. I'm still in touch with people I was networking and training with 30 years ago, and they're some of my best help inputs now. And also, as many of you said and have offered already, come and help with Cohort 2 and supporting We in Social Tech onwards, yeah? So Cohort 2, here you go. We're going to hand over now to you. All of you are next. And we really look forward to your final outputs too. In 6 months' time, we hopefully can regather here. Cohort 1 come back to join us too, everyone in this room and more, to see the next stage of this amazing program and accelerator, We in Social Tech. So thanks again to Deutsche Bank, and thanks again to Nwes, and to all of the teams for both of these groups who work incredibly hard. I'm not even going to start to name names. And actually to the mentors and to the trainees as well, to trainers who have come in every Wednesday, by the way. There's this huge long sets of training, massive sets of information and PDFs, and it's incredible. So, and also thanks to the team here and the technical team for running tonight for us so well. I'd just like another call out for everybody. It's very important to keep talking about We in Social Tech, not just because we're selling it, but because women entrepreneurs and social tech, it's so important to keep this going round. And we know that the majority of impact in this area will happen through word of mouth from all of you in this room and from the cohorts and your friends and families, etc. So please help us to enable this dynamic energy, this very important dynamic energy, to ripple out and take positive effect ahead in the world. So thanks all for being here. And now we go to the very important bit of networking. You've got your sheets with all the faces on. The cohort will all be out there too. Please go and find them, talk to them. Any ideas, any contacts, any even hints or connections you can make will be very welcome, yeah? And so go out, enjoy the networking, and there's some drinks and refreshments, and we'll all join you out there. Thank you very much.